All right, good morning, class. Okay, so we go continue now. Okay, how we are going 3.3.2. How to find the inverse of a matrix using elementary row operations. Right, so this is new in STPM since 2013. Right, last time we don't use this method. Last time we use adjoin. Right. Okay, so what is elementary row operations? So elementary row operations are used to change a matrix into another matrix. We change one matrix into another. So altogether we only have three elementary row operation. Only three row elementary only three elementary row operation can be done. All right, so it's actually quite simple. All right, so the first operation that we can do is we exchange any two rows. All right, so for example, this is the original matrix. So this symbol show that row 1 and row 2 exchange. Also, you see that row 1 become row 2 here, and row 2 become row 1 here. This is one of the operation that we can do. We exchange two rows. All right. And the second operation will be multiply all entries of a row by a non-zero scalar. All right. So remember, we only multiply integer or fraction. Don't use decimal. Only integer and fraction. For example, this is the original matrix. All right. The operation that we are going to do is we multiply row 2, R2, you see. We multiply row 2 by 2. So all the element in row 2 will multiply 2. And it become the new row 2. You can become other row also can. But normally we go back to the same row. So you see means that row 1 and row 3 remain the same. Row 1, row 3 remain the same. So all the element in row 2 times 2. So become 8, 0, negative 4. Alright? So this is the second one. And the third one is something like, we multiply all the entries of a row by a non-zero scalar and add the product to another row. Alright? Adding or subtracting rows also can. Directly add or subtract two rows also can. Or we multiply a row by a number, then only plus or minus also can. All these steps are doing just to get the numbers that we want. Later when we see the example, then you see. All right, so this is the meaning. Again, this is the original matrix. You see what we write here. Row 2 times 2. Row 2 times 2. All the element in row 2 times 2. Then each element will add to row 3. Okay, then it become a new row 3. So if new row 3 means row 1, row 2 remain the same. So copy row 1 and row 2 first, remain the same. Then you see. Row 2 times 2. So 8 plus this one. So 12. Alright, so do this one. 0 times 2, still 0, plus this one. So negative 1. Alright, this one also times 2. So negative 4. Negative 4 plus row 3. So minus 5. Alright, so only these three operations that we can do when we want to change a matrix to another. Means when we do the elementary row operations. Alright, don't add your own one. Okay. Alright, so why we want to change like this? Because when a matrix A is changed into another matrix B after using the elementary row operations, then the matrices A and B are said to be equivalent. Alright, and to find the inverse of matrix A, we will start by writing the matrix in this form. In a big bracket, matrix A, a straight line, then identity. We call this augmented matrix. Like this. When you write in this form, we call it augmented matrix or we call it block matrix. Alright, then we will change it by using elementary row operation to become like this. See that? So the matrix A, we will do the elementary row operation until we get I. Alright, so at the same time, this I will change to another matrix after we have done this one. All right, so we call this canonical form. Then the resulting matrix B, this one, will be the inverse of A when this happens. All right, so this is row elementary operation. Okay, so we know that when we write in this augmented matrix form, so which element we should start first? Or which one we want to change first? Because we are going to change this one become identity. Identity is 1 0 0 0 1 0 and 0 0 1. All right, so normally we change the entry in A, this matrix A, follow this sequence. A11, A21, A31, then A22, A32, then A33, A12. It's like this. We start with this. We change this one first. Means no matter what is the original number in matrix A, we change this one to 1. Then after this one have changed, change this one to 0. After this one have done, change this one to 0 also. Okay, then go to this one. This is 1, right? 0 1 0 ma. So change this one to 1. Then after finish, change this one to 0. Alright, okay, then change this one to 1. We follow this sequence. Deng, 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 deng. Alright, so after we have done all this row definitely becomes 0 0 1 already ma. Alright, so when we get this one in 0 0 1, it's quite simple for us to solve this tree. Sometimes when we come to this step, or this step is already changed into identity already. It depends on the questions lah. Alright? Okay, so we will see some examples. Okay, so first one, determine whether M and I are equivalent. So just that they want you to change this one to I lah. So we skip this one lah. Then you do checkpoint 3.2 as your homework. Okay, so I will discuss question 3 now. Alright, so question 3 is STPM 2014. So you are given a matrix P. This is P. By using elementary row operation, find the inverse of P. So 6 marks. So when you see 6 marks, it means that it will involve at least 5 steps and above lah. Or it will be longer. Alright? So I will discuss step by step. Okay. Oops. Alright. So can see Alright. Okay. Alright. It should be okay. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so as we say, first step, we write it in augmented form, P, I. So this is matrix B, draw a line, this is identity. Alright? So as we say, the first element that we are going to change is this one. Right? So means that I'm going to change -5 to become 1. Alright, so I'm going to change first row. So means second and third row. Second and third row remain the same. So I copy first so that we won't confuse. Alright, second row and third row no change. So I copy. So how am I going to change this one? Become 1. You can have different method. You can have different method as long as this one change to 1. Become +1. Alright, so for example, I can multiply this one by 6. Then I minus them. I can get +1. This is one of the method lah. Okay, so for me, I'm going to use this way. I multiply row 1 by -1/5. -1/5. Row 1 multiply -1/5. And it will become new row 1. Alright, so all the element in row 1, I'm going to multiply with -1/5. So this one multiply negative 1 over 5, you get 1. No? So 0, still 0 lah. So 2 multiply negative 1 over 5, negative 2 over 5. Right? This one multiply negative 1 over 5, 0, 0. Okay, so we complete first step. So this is the row elementary operation. I'm using the second operation. Multiply a row by a integer or fraction. Okay, next step. So you please follow this sequence so you can see very clear each step. Don't continue like a snake like that. Okay, so next, after the first one, remember, we go to this one, we change this one. So means that this one must become 0. And originally, it is 0 already. So no need, we skip one step. So the third one that we should change is this one. This one also, I'm going to change it to 0. Alright? So to change this one to 0, very simple. The operation that I'm going to use is R1 plus R3. I want to change this one. Others we don't see first. Okay? So to change this one to 0, very simple. I use R1 plus R2. 1 plus negative 1, 0. And it become a new R3. Alright? Change to new R3. Okay. So means that we are going to change R3. So change R3 means R1 and R2 remain the same. So I copy R1 and R2 first. First, second row remain unchanged, so I copy. So R1 plus R3 become new R3. So we are using this one already. Don't use back this one, okay? Follow this one. So 1 plus negative 1, 0. This one plus this one, 4. This one plus this one, negative 12 over 5. This one plus this one, negative 1 over 5, 0, 1. Okay? So first 3 element done. So the next one is this one, right? So we are going to change this one. This one must change to 1. Because second row is 0, 1, 0. So I want to change this one to 1. So I'm going to change second row. So 1 and third, same. Because same, I copy first so that we won't confuse. Okay? So how to change 2 to become 1? The faster ways for me is I multiply row 2 by half. I multiply row 2 by half. Then become new row 2. Alright? So this one is 0. This is why you see, this is why they follow this sequence. So when you change this one to 0 already, no matter what you use, it won't affect it. Alright? So 2 multiply half, you get 1. Alright? Negative 1 multiply half, negative half. Okay? 0, 0. So 1 multiply half, half, 0, 0. Okay. Right? So the next one is this. 1, 2, 3, 4 already done. So the fifth one, this one. So I'm going to change this one become 0. Third row. So I'm going to change third row. So 1 and 2 remain the same. So I copy first. 1 and 2 remain the same. So when you write all the elements in matrix, make sure you have more space lah. For my one, because not enough space, so I write it quite close to each other. For you, you make it bigger. Alright, more space, easier for you to see. Alright, so how to change this one to 0? Alright, so for me, I see a 1 here. So I multiply this one by 4. Or I multiply this one by 4, then minus it. Then becomes 0 already. Okay? So I'm going to multiply 4 to row 2, then add to row 3. This is the third operation. This is the third operation. Multiply row 2 by 4, then add to row 3. Then it become a new row 3. New row 3. Alright, so let's see here. Remember, always use the previous one. So this one, 0. Times 4, 0. 0 plus 0, still 0. So you see, this is why we want to follow this sequence. After we have changed it, it won't change again when we want to do any operation, right? Then this one, multiply 4 is 4. Sorry, it's not plus, it's minus. Minus. Alright, so this one times 4 is 4. 4 minus 4, 0. So this one times 4. So times 4 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus negative, so become plus. Alright, so it become, it become negative. It become positive 2 over 5. Alright, so this one also, this one multiply 4 still 0. 0 minus this one positive. This one multiply 4 is 2. 2 plus minus 0 is 2. Okay, this one multiply 4 is 0. 0 minus 1, negative 1. Okay. Right? 0 minus 1. Okay. Alright. So this one also have done. Okay. So the next step is this one. Follow this step. So I'm going to change this one to 1. Because for identity, the third row is 0, 0, 1. I want to change this one to 1. Okay. So very simple. To change this one to row 1, I'm going to multiply row 3 by 5 over 2. This one times 5 over 2, then become 1. So become a new row 3. So change new row 3. So again, 1 and 2 remain unchanged. We copy. So be very careful when you are copying. Half. Half, don't make careless mistake. Okay, so this one 0 times what? Also 0. 0 times what? Also 0. This one times 5 over 2 become 1. Alright, so this one times 5 over 2 is half. This one times 5 over 2 is 5. Okay? Yeah. Correct. Alright, so this one times 5 over 2 is negative 5 over 2. Right? Let me see. 1. R3 plus R1 is 1. Okay. Alright. Okay. So next step. Left 2 only. Left 2 only. Okay. So to I think I'm going to change this one.
Okay, ada.
Okay, so so I'm going to change. Alright, the next step is okay. So I'm going to change. Okay, I'm going to change this one. This one must become 0. Alright, so to make this one 0, I add 5 over 2 over 5 lah. Okay, plus 2 over 5. So I see 1 here. So means that I'm going to multiply 2 over 5 to R3. Alright, then plus R1. Okay, R3, I'm going to multiply 2 over 5, then add to R1, and become a new R1. Alright, so means R1 going to change, others remain the same. So I copy first. Okay, so R1, so this one multiply anything also 0, so plus this one still 1. Multiply anything also 0, 0 plus 0, 0. Okay, so this one multiply 2 over 5. So 2 over 5 plus negative 2 over 5, 0. Okay, so this one also multiply 2 over 5. So when multiply 2 over 5 is 1 over 5. Okay, so 1 over 5 plus negative 1 over 5, 0. Okay, this one multiply 2 over 5. Alright, 2 over 5, so it's 2. So 2 plus 0, 2. This one, yes, this one multiply 2 over 5, negative 1. So negative 1 plus 0, negative 1. Alright? This one you just do, you just calculate only. This one you don't worry what they change. Huh? Okay, last one, this one. This one must become 0 again. This one also must become 0. So similar step to this one. So I'm going to multiply half to R3, then plus R2, become new R2. So R2 going to change. 1 and third not change. So I copy 1 and third first. Alright? So this one multiply 1 over 2, 0. 0 plus 0, still 0. This one multiply 1 over 2, 0. 0 plus 1, 1. This one multiply 1 over 2. So 1 over 2. 1 over 2 plus negative 1 over 2, 0. Yes. So this one multiply 1 over 2 is 1 over 4. 1 over 4 plus 0, 1 over 4. Okay. So this one also multiply 1 over 2. So it's 5 over 2. So 5 over 2 plus this one plus half is 3. 6 over 2. And this one multiply 1 over 2. So it's negative 5 over 4. Alright, negative 5 over 4 plus 0, negative 5 over 4. Okay, done. You see? From here, matrix B, after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps, I change it to identity already. Alright, we want to make it become identity. So when this happens, this is the inverse of P. Therefore, remember question 1 inverse of P. You must write this one out. So the inverse of P will be 0, 2, negative 1, 1 over 4, 3, negative 5 over 4, half, 5, negative 5 over 4. Yes, this is the inverse of P. This is longer lah. That's why they give you 6 marks. Alright, that's why they give you 6 marks because it is longer. Alright. So some students, they are quite smart, or you see some reference book, they in one row they do 2 operations. Can, if you think you are good, then you can do it. They do 1 operation here, then they do 1 operation here. Means they do 1 here, this one they write it here. This one they write it here. So at one time they change first and third row. It can be done if you think you can manage it. Alright. For me, I prefer 1 by 1 so they're easier and less careless mistake. Alright. So I explained this one in a very complete steps. So I hope you can follow it. You have to do a lot. So far, if I'm not mistaken, okay, in STPM, they ask you to use elementary row operation to find inverse. They came out, I think, 2 times. From 2013 to last year. I think 2 times only because it's too long, the steps. Alright. Okay. Alright, so next. All right, I'm going to discuss one more question with you. All right, question 4. This is 2017 Mathematics M. Okay, so after that, you have to do a quiz for question 5. All right, actually questions 5 part A we have done. I hope you still remember, it's a symmetry matrix. Okay, you can do as revision. So you are given a symmetry matrix, and part A, you are asking to find ABC. We have done this one. No, I discussed another question. I asked you to do this one as homework. All right. So B, using elementary row operation, determine the inverse for matrix A. This one also given you 6 marks. Means that it should be a longer step. All right. And the last part, solve the system of linear equation. This one later. This one you omit it. Or you just complete A and B for quiz. All right. So we will discuss one more question. 4. Okay. So you are given matrix A. Find inverse. So we write it in the augmented form. Matrix A and identity. All right. Okay. So this is quite easy lah, because first one already 1, this one also 0, so no problem. So we just need to change the third one. This one I want to change to 0. So to change to 0, I see that I can minus them. If I minus them, then it becomes 0 already. All right, so I use R3 minus R1, become new R3. So R1, R2 remain the same. All right, so R3 minus R1, so 1 minus 1, 0. 3 minus negative 1, 4. 2 minus 1, 1. 0 minus 1, negative 1. 0 minus 0, 1 minus 0. Okay. So next step, after 1, 2, 3, I'm going to change this one. So this is already 1, so no need to change again. So I'm going to change this one. So this one need to change to 0. 0, 0, 1 so I need to change this one to 0. So what I can do means I'm going to change row 3 also lah. So if change row 3, then 1 and 2 remain the same. All right. So to change row 3, change this one to 0. So I'm going to use this one times 4. Okay, times 4. Then I minus to this one. All right. So row 2 times 4. Row 2 times 4 minus row 3, and become new row 3. All right. This is arrow. The long one is arrow also. Okay. So let's see. This one times 4, 0. 0 minus 0, still 0 lah. This one times 4, 4. All right. 4 minus 4, 0 lah. This one times 4. So negative 4. Negative 4 minus 1, negative 5. All right. So this one times 4, 0. 0 minus negative 1, positive 1. Times 4. So 4 minus 0, 4. Times 4 is 0. 0 minus 1. All right. Next step. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 done. Number 6. I'm going to change this one become 1. All right. Change this one become 1. So I'm going to multiply negative 1 over 5 to row 3. Multiply negative 1 over 5, then it become 1 and get new row 3. So get new row 3 means 1 and 2 remain the same. All right. So anything 0, 0. So multiply negative 1 over 5, 1. Okay. So this one negative 1 over 5. This one negative 4 over 5. This one 1 over 5. All this multiplied with negative 1 over 5. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all done. Okay. So the next step is change this one to 0. So I can use this one. So I'm using R1 plus R2. Become new R1. Means I'm going to change R1, so R2 remain the same. Okay? 2, 3 remain the same. So R1 plus R2 become new R1. So 1 plus 0, 1. Negative 1 plus 1, 0. 1 plus negative 1, 0. Plus, plus, plus. Okay? Then last step, this one. I'm going to change this one to 0. So very simple. When I see this, I know that I can add them. Alright, so I'm use R2 plus R3 and become new R2. New R2, so 1 and third remain the same. Okay, R2 plus R3. So 0 plus 0, 1. This one becomes 0. So this one plus this one. This one plus this one. Okay, this one plus this one. Okay, so done. See? This one simpler lah. 5 steps can finish already. 5 steps. So this is I already. So when this one change to I, so this is the inverse of your A. This is the inverse. Therefore, the inverse of A is, please remember to copy it again. Okay, don't just stop at this step. Okay, so done. Alright, so this is how you find inverse A. Still can see, okay, can see. Alright, so next part is find the determinant of A and hence obtain the determinant of inverse A. Determinant, still remember determinant? Okay. Alright, so I'm going to use, this is A, this is A. So I'm going to use the second row, row 2. I'm use second row to find the determinant. Remember? So to find determinant, we are going to find the cofactor. So I choose this row because I have C a 0 here. Okay? So remember, for cofactor, second, the sign. Remember the sign? Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. For second row, negative, positive, negative. So this one suppose negative, positive, negative. See, right? That's why I put a negative here. This one also negative, but multiply 0, then all gone, no need, no? This one positive, this one negative. Remember the sign or not? Okay, so first element multiply with its cofactor. So I don't calculate lah. Because anything multiply 0 also 0 ma. Then second element is 1. Remember the cofactor? The cofactor for this element, I'm going to this element, so cross here and here. Right? So left the determinant 1, 1, 1, 2. Then this one minus this one. So 2 minus 1. So I show it clearly here. Alright? And the third element is negative 1. Alright? And the cofactor, the sign is negative. So this element, I'm going to cross here and here. I'll cross this one and this one. So left 1, negative 1, 1, 3. The 2 by 2 determinant. Alright, so 3 minus negative 1. 3 minus negative 1. See? So this one 0. This is 1. This is 4. Negative 1, negative 4. So 4. 4 plus 1, 5. So this is a determinant for A. Alright, and remember, because the question says hence. Hence means you have to use determinant A to find the determinant for inverse A. You cannot find the determinant for inverse A from here. Alright, because of the word hence. So remember, we also learned this one already. The determinant for inverse A same as 1 over determinant A. Remember this. Okay, so 1 over 5 lah. Okay, alright. I put it down a bit. Okay, can you see it? Okay, so second part of today's lesson, we stop here. So what I want you to do is you complete question 5, A and B, as a quiz now. It's 10 marks. 10 marks means 15 minutes. Alright, so within 15 minutes, you complete this one. Okay, and snap your solution and upload to the Google Drive. Alright, so after 20 minutes, I will show you the third lesson for today. Alright, so this third lesson of today, you can do it in the evening slot. Okay, and complete the quiz by today also. Please don't drag. Alright, whatever today work, you have to complete it. So I hope the next lesson I can finish this chapter. Okay, thank you class.